Hello, Diane again here. So once again, I find myself in the situation where I must apologize for having not blogged over the past several days. And this time it's been a couple days that have gone by, and I'm sorry for that. I thought perhaps I should address part of the reason for that as a topic of discussion today, and I'm bound to be a little rambly, so bear with me. And the reason why is because I'm uncomfortable discussing it. So, be patient with me. So, okay, I suffer from a chronic condition that affects my bowels. I don't talk about it much because nobody wants to hear about that, right? And quite frankly, I find it all very embarrassing and personal. So, I don't really make a public statement of it, but it's been bothering me for a few years now, and it seems to get worse as I get older. And I end up going through these long periods where the issue is accompanied by a distracting pain that is constant and goes on. Now, people who suffer from other chronic conditions will recognize that kind of pain. Some people refer to it as fibrofog. Right? If you suffer from fibromyalgia, you've probably experienced this where a certain issue becomes a problem, and it's the constant level of pain. It's nothing that you're going to scream about. It's nothing that you want to take codeine for or anything like that, or any other high-test painkiller, but it goes on and on and on, and it either kind of does this, right, or it's constant. And after a while, you just cannot think as clearly when something like that is going on. And when that happens, two things happen to me. And one thing is that I don't want to deal with people. I find it very difficult to have enough spoons. That's another thing that people with chronic conditions talk about. We are all given a certain number of spoons, and everything that we do in a day requires a spoon. And sometimes our level of spoons is not enough to deal with everything we need to deal with in the day, because a lot of it's already taken up dealing with whatever the condition is. So when I'm experiencing that, I find dealing with people very challenging. I already find dealing with people challenging because I thought I was an extrovert most of my life, but in truth I'm an introvert who's really good at faking it as long as I have a role that's expected of me and I know what I'm supposed to do. So I'm the kind of person who's perfectly comfortable speaking in front of an audience of several people, maybe even hundreds of people, about a subject that I feel I know a lot about. But if you get me to a party with, a dinner party, a drinking party, it doesn't matter what kind of party, I'll be in the corner with whatever the beverage is, trying not to be noticed. Unless I have found somebody else who's as nerdy as me to talk to, in which case we'll be hiding in the corner, talking to each other and ignoring everybody else. And that's just me. So I can't, sometimes I just can't do both. Because this is a very personal form of expression, this method of live conversation, it's like I'm talking to someone about stuff that, it's a bit like talking to someone at a party about something. So it takes a certain amount of spoons, and I just haven't had them for the past couple of days, and I'm sorry. But this does give me a good opportunity to talk about something that may affect other people. Because if you've experienced this sort of chronic pain or chronic condition in your life, you have something else that's going on, you may have extra challenges to getting your writing done than other people might. And it's easy enough to say, oh, well, you don't have to go anywhere with writing anyway, right? You can just sit down, so why don't you just sit down and do it? But sometimes it's not that simple. When you have that kind of distracting pain, sometimes really all you're capable of doing is watching stupid videos on YouTube because you just can't wrap your head around how to put a sentence. And I don't know, there's another girl who I'm talking to on Twitter who experiences vertigo, and she was talking about that recently, and the fact that, I made some suggestions of things that might make it possible for her to be able to do it lying down, but her vertigo was bad enough that looking at a screen at all was creating, wavering letters like this, and you can't write when that's going on, right? You just can't do it. So I thought, if you're one of those people who are experiencing those challenges, I'm talking to you today, right? So I am behind on my word count, and by about half a day's worth of stuff. I'm about, 800 words behind on my word count. Yesterday, I was supposed to reach, I think it's 26,666. Just a second, I'm going to check my stats here on my NaNo page. You might as well watch while I'm doing that, because then it gives you something to look at. There's my novel. There's the stats. Right? Okay, so this is what my word count today looks like when it loads. There it is. Right? Okay, so yes, yesterday par was, I wish I had a better zoom function, 26,666, and I'm at 26,142. Note that I'm doing this on a calculator because I've had to add together the totals of my 2 novellas, right? So today I'm supposed to reach 28,333. I'm feeling better today. I might be able to do it. Whatever this condition is, it seems to be linked to bits of my spine going out of joint. And yesterday I finally went, okay, that's it. I don't care if I've only got one, Medicare, well, we don't have Medicare, we have pharmacare in Canada, but I have only one pharmacare covered chiropractor trip left this year. I was trying to save it for December because I knew I'd need it at least once more, but nope, I got to get stuff done, so I'm going to go do it. And today, I'm not well yet, but I'm certainly not in as bad a shape as I was. So, I might be able to get it done. I'm pretty good at, if I can concentrate, I can do it. And I don't have to go anywhere today. So maybe, right? But there's lots of conditions by which you may end up falling considerably behind. So there's a couple of ways to deal with this. One is that you can binge write more. If you are having a really great day, you can sit down in front of the computer and get a lot done. But be cautious with that, because that got out of hand for me. One of the reasons why I've been suffering so much is I spent a day where I put something like 10 hours in front of my computer, and I guess I didn't have the chair adjusted right or something, and my neck and shoulders cramped up, and it pulled something in my upper spine out, and here we go. The saga begins, right? So, know your limits. Don't push beyond them, because it could set you back. It's a lesson that I am still learning in my life, right? To accept certain limitations, but I'm not good at it, and I've been working on that. But if you do have a good day, you might have an opportunity to get a little bit ahead, and then you're prepared for when you're having difficulties, or catch up if you're behind, and take advantage of that. The other thing is that there are often alternative technologies that you can use. You don't necessarily have to be sitting at a desk in front of a screen on your laptop or your desktop computer. There's Word for your phone, right? I did a whole thing on that. I think it might have been day, I don't know. It was one of the early days, day 3, day 5. I'll put the link. But you can write on your phone, right? So you could do that lying on your back. You could consider getting a tablet, and then if you have difficulty with vision, even mild nearsightedness can make that difficult, writing on your back, holding your phone in front of your face. But a tablet would take care of that problem. You could try that, right? Get yourself a good little portable laptop, a notebook style laptop that you can take places, or get yourself one of those tablets that you can insert into a keyboard, and then you can write in pretty much any situation if you're having a pain issue that is exacerbated by sitting up, right? Other things you can do is that there is such a thing as a standing desk. I have imitated this with piling books on top of a desk and standing there and writing when I've been feeling pain in my lower spine and I'm just not up to sitting in front of a computer for that long, or even just to give myself a break, right? So I guess my takeaway from all that, if we're looking for a series of instructions for dealing with writing under chronic conditions, is first of all, be aware of what your condition is and the limitations that it imposes on you. Plan around that. Get ahead if you're experiencing a good day and you can, or, and ultimately accept the fact that you just might not do it. You just might not reach your 50,000 word goal. And that's okay. And it's still worth doing. Even if you're not going to reach your 50,000 word goal. Maybe you'll get 40,000 words and you're still 40,000 words closer to being done the story that you wanted to write. And that's awesome. That gives you something to work with. You can progress from there. As I think I've said in the past, I've been doing this now. This is my 7th year. I've only not done it once. And that year was the 2nd year that I did it. And I actually had a publication deadline in the middle of the month that had to take priority. And so I had to get the editing done. So I really only wrote for half the month. I still made 40,000 words. And I still have the seeds of the novel there. It's about 2/3 done, that novel. It's still sitting there. I still intend to write it. I'm in the process of rewriting the first book in the series. That first book was my first Nano project. I wrote my 50,000 words. The book topped out when it was done at 167,000 words. So I was by no means finished by the end of November. I wrote it well into February. And it's done, right? Now what I'm doing with it is dissecting it. I'm taking it apart. I'm breaking it up into a novella and a short novel and a longer novel. And I think the work is going to really benefit from it, but you can come back to it. You can't come back to it if you've got nothing done. Anyway, I'm sorry for the big, long, rambly, windy bit, and I promise I will discuss the nuances of week 3 in the next video, which I hope to be tomorrow. But I thought that since this had come up, this was a good time to address the issue. If you are writing under a chronic condition and you're finding it challenging and you want some support, feel free to nano buddy me and send me a message letting me know why you've done so. I'm Sable Aradia, all one word, on Nano, and I'd be happy to talk to you. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining me, and I hope I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.